Welcome to the Man Cave, guys. I'm Raphael Leah.
And I'm John Jackson. Follow us at our Man Cave Twitter. Man Cave, NY Sports, capital M, capital NY.
Simple.
Easy done.
Simple, easy done. I'm at Raf_Aaliyah. That's RAFELIA. That's
at John97 Jackson. But let's get on to the show.
If you can't spell John 97 or Jackson, well, it's J-O-H-N. Okay, now let's start with the show. Let's go. We're going to talk the NFL because tomorrow is the long-awaited NFL draft. It's probably the only sport missing from this great time of year, but that craving just gets fulfilled tomorrow because we have the NFL draft.
Even though it's no players playing on the field, it still feels like football.
And it's honestly pretty boring when you think about it.
Yeah.
This guy walks on stage every 10 minutes, says a name, and then it repeats itself.
We just see Goodell 32 times in the first round.
And most people don't even like seeing Goodell once.
Exactly. But it's great. If you're a football fan, this is building up your team. This could make or break your season right here.
Let's get right into it. Let's get right into the punch, alright?
We want to discuss...
Highest conversation right now.
Yeah, we want to discuss Goff and Wentz.
Goff versus Wentz.
Yeah.
We looked at the stats before the show. We heard the conversation. So based on that, what do you think?
I thought Wentz, I heard him, Wentz, he's great. First, over Goff so many times. I looked at the stats, Goff, 100%. I'd rather have Goff 100% because he's played more years than Wentz. Wentz has actually played 4 years, technically more, but he's only started 2. Goff has played 3 years, 12,195 yards, 96 touchdowns to 30 interceptions. He doesn't run, of course, only 10 yards rushing compared to, Wentz is 1,000, but he's also 6'7", which is kind of interesting. Most quarterbacks aren't that tall.
Yeah, well, when you're talking about these two quarterbacks, one thing is that they feel Goff performed well in a less critical time. Because
the system.
Because North Dakota State, again, we're champions, we're national champions. So it's definitely a higher level of competition that Wentz had to deal with, his size, combined with his arm strength, and some are also saying his accuracy, which I think are hand in hand when you talk about arm strength and accuracy.
No, not really.
I know, I get, Geno Smith, he has great arm strength, no accuracy, but I feel like if you have good arm strength, it's easier to get the ball to a target. We saw when Peyton Manning started to lose his arm strength, his accuracy kind of went along with it.
Well, yeah, if you want to throw far away, you're not going to be accurate if you can't throw that far.
Exactly, but I feel like that kind of accuracy is important in the NFL, which is why Carson Wentz is getting all this, what do you call it?
Hype.
That's
lots of hype.
So I actually watched a little bit of film on each just because I wanted to see some highlights before I rushed into anything. Carson Wentz compared to Jared Goff, I saw a lot better footwork, honestly, from Jared Goff. Because he just looks like a more conventional quarterback, sitting back there, waiting, picking his targets, throwing. Maybe that bores some people, and that's why he's really not getting as much hype.
So just typical, you're trying to say?
I'm saying he's a typical quarterback.
That's
one
good,
that I enjoy. I like a pocket passer. Some people like a Wentz, like a Cam Newton, because he runs all over the place, and you can't really argue with what Cam has done.
Yeah.
He runs off that out of that press box like that.
Yeah, every box.
But Carson Wentz, definitely that kind of guy, and he has a high ceiling, but he also has a very low floor, which is my concern, which is why Jared Goff is going to go first overall.
Yeah, I don't see Wentz really, I don't see the big deal on the field so far. You pretty much, Raphael said, it's the raw talent that's there. He has the accuracy, he has the arm strength, he has the size, but here's some stats, compare them to Goff's. He's played 4 years, he's really only started 2, and he's only had 5,115 yards. That's, once again, 5,115. Now, if you divide that over 2 seasons evenly, we're talking about 2,500, which isn't great because Goff had 3,000, 3,000, 4,000. But moving on, touchdowns, interceptions, he has 45 touchdowns, 14 interceptions.
They both have pretty good touchdown-to-interception ratios.
It's a good ratio. But again, even if you doubled that, even if you gave him 4 years, that would be about 90. So it would be about the same. But remember, Goff played 3 years, not 4. So again, Goff, right now, everything, if you put them year by year, Goff looks better.
Statistically, Jared Goff, on paper,
Yeah, it looks better. Yeah.
And I think what everyone else is seeing is what they saw like during the combine and during workouts like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get what you're saying. You want to see the proof.
I want to see it on the field,
so to speak.
Before we talk more, the one thing Wentz has going for him is he has 1,028 yards rushing with 13 rushing touchdowns, so he can run.
Goff
You've already alluded to that. Goff doesn't run. Again, he's 6'7". That's kind of big, you know.
Well, it's
hard to run sometimes.
When I'm relating it to people, if I'm going to pick out, let's say they both perform to the best possible way.
Yeah, okay.
I'm going to compare it to Jared Goff being a Peyton Manning, whereas Carson Wentz being Cam Newton.
Okay, yeah, one running, one passing.
Because it just those are the kind of quarterbacks it's going to be. When I looked at Jared Goff, his footwork was similar to Peyton Manning. He likes to step back in the pocket, and he had -1 rushing yards for one season. So it's almost identical to Peyton Manning. But hey, listen, not saying either one of them are going to live up to those kinds of expectations.
Yeah, very unlikely.
So we'll see. Time will have to tell.
Yeah.
What time are we at right now? How long has this gone on?
I haven't even been keeping track of that, so play by ear. We'll just move on.
You want to talk about the Jets? Or what were we going to talk about?
We were going to talk about the two trades in this draft.
Oh, that's what we were going to talk about. Yeah, forget about the Jets.
Yeah, Jets. We don't know. They're saying wide receiver. It doesn't matter.
We're going to definitely speak about that next week when we
don't speculate about that. Let's talk about facts.
Too much speculation. Yeah, that's
talk about facts. The Eagles made a terrible trade. The Rams made a terrible trade.
Facts.
These are all facts. And we're going to go to the first trade that happened, which was the Los Angeles Rams. They were the first one to make that trade. They moved up to number 1. They traded with the Titans. Terrible trade, but they had a lot of picks because remember, RG3, they got a lot of picks from that terrible trade. They're going to try now and do their own terrible
trade. To compensate for that?
Yeah. They're like, we have too many picks.
So go ahead. Let's just put them down like 1, 2, 3. What did they get for it? I'm sorry, what did they give up for that first overall pick?
The Rams got the first overall pick, as I mentioned, and they got a 4th and 6th rounder in the 2016 draft. But they gave up their first rounder, their second rounder.
Their first overall.
Yeah. No, their first.
I mean, I think they were 15th overall.
Yeah, something like that. So, the first round, a second round, another second round, a third round. This is all in 2016. Let's move to 2017. A first round and a third round. That's a lot of picks.
A lot.
Just to move up 15 spaces or 14 spaces.
To get what we just alluded to get either Goff or Wentz.
Yeah.
High ceiling, we don't know. And we were talking about this. If this was in any other draft class, would these quarterbacks even be at the top?
No, we're talking about second round picks possibly.
But again, let's not speculate. Let's say they even get this franchise quarterback. Is it worth what they gave up? They'd say yeah. I think a lot of people would say yeah for a quarterback. But hey, listen, the Jets are living without a quarterback for days, for months,
years. So. I got an alert. It says, "Will the Jets finally fill Joe Namath's shoes? You know, his white shoes after 40 years." I don't know. Very unlikely. But let's move over and bash the Browns. Oh wait, no, we're not gonna bash the Browns. You know why? They made a good trade.
Really?
Yeah, they made a good trade.
Did something right.
With the Eagles. The Eagles.
Oh, okay, it makes it better because the
when two
Eagles
teams
don't know what they're doing.
Two bad teams come together. One has to benefit.
So yeah, just give us. This is the second overall pick that the Eagles acquired from the Browns
to get either Goff or Wentz.
So to get whoever the Rams don't get will just fall to them.
Yeah.
So let's say that's Carson Wentz, but they gave up.
They gave up a first rounder, a third rounder, and a fourth rounder in the 2016 draft. They also gave out a first and second rounder in the 2017 draft.
That's probably the most incredible thing to me, though. To give up a first and a second rounder next year. That's
They do get a
especially to the Cleveland Browns, who you know are gonna have a good pick next year in the draft. So.
But also, they do get a conditional 5th round pick in this draft.
Yeah,
no, 2017. Yeah, that doesn't mean anything. 5th rounders.
Forget about that. This is just, it matters in this case that they're getting Carson Wentz, probably.
Yeah.
For what could possibly be a top 5 pick next year because the Browns, I'm going to venture to say, come in the bottom 5.
Yeah,
They just lost their quarterback and their chances of getting a quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, one thing, I just don't believe in these trades. You're trading so much away. 2 first-round picks just to move up in the first round for a quarterback. I mean, would you give up this much to get a mediocre quarterback? that's already on the market. Would you give up this much to get, let's just say, Phillip Rivers?
Well, no.
He's good.
They take the risk that they're getting someone worthwhile. And I think part of that is because when you're giving up, like, your second and third rounders, those are even more, like, speculation. Like, you don't know what you're giving up. You could be giving up a Pro Bowler, but more often than not, you're just giving up some guy whose name will never be remembered.
Yeah.
But, again, a risk of that Pro Bowler, or 2 Pro Bowlers, for all we know, for a guy that could just be another... I'm not going to say Phillip Rivers, because I think he has talent. But.
No, he does. I'm just saying I'm trying to get a mediocre quarterback kind of in the middle. Phillip Rivers is still good, though. But the thing is...
Brian Hoyer.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins. No, not Brian Hoyer.
He's below it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, I just don't believe in this. I think it's terrible you give up this much. And in the first round, quarterbacks usually, they're make or break, but the position players, they're usually really good in the first round.
That's just how it goes.
Yeah, they're usually Pro Bowlers. Starters, Pro Bowlers, something around that line, but we'll see.
We'll see.
Goff or
Only
Wentz.
the draft will tell. That's tomorrow. I'm excited. I hope you're excited.
I'm excited
I hope
too.
you're excited.
Yeah.
And if you're not, we have something else you could be excited for, because this is a new segment we call Player of the Week. Now, this Player of the Week segment is going to be once a week in our final episode, which is this one, where we're just going to be giving our Player of the Week, no matter what sport it is, one athlete that we thought shone throughout the week.
Like you said,
from last Wednesday on.
Any sport could have been water polo, but we don't follow water polo.
So even if there was a star athlete in said water polo
for a week,
we would not know.
Yeah.
So if you're a water polo fan,
sorry.
We
apologize.
Yeah. But thank you for watching.
So anyway, my player of the week is Neil Walker of the New York Mets. Now, of course, that seems very biased, but I get to see him a lot, so I just want to focus on him. He's just been going off. This is a guy, he's hit about maybe 20-something home runs, 21. Maybe that's been his ceiling so far in his career. And he's on pace for like 46 or 64, they were saying. Yeah, no, obviously he's not going to keep that pace, but he has 8 right now. And that's great for a second baseman.
Do you think he reasonably gets above 25?
Yeah, this year I think he does. And I think it's just being on a winning team like the Mets.
That does that to you.
Yeah, even though he was on Pittsburgh, so it doesn't really make any sense.
Well, that used to be the same thing with the Yankees. Players would just typically do better on a winning team. Not now, but no, I get what you're saying. You can't deny that.
If you compare the Mets and the Pirates have been better longer, but they haven't been to the World Series. Neil Walker knows he can win a World Series this year.
They're coming in as favorites. He has a lot to play for. So and I thought we all agreed that Neil Walker deal was great.
Oh yeah, it was especially for John Neese. He's doing decent in Pittsburgh, but just to show his stats for this week, 9 for 24. He's 2 runs, 2 home runs, 3 RBIs. So again, it's a week in baseball. Usually it's not a lot. It's not super impressive, but I'm trying to focus on more of what he's done so far to this season. But this week has been a great week for him as well.
Well, I don't know anything. I think that's a great pick because I don't know that there are any players that have been so exceptional throughout the sports. MLB just started. You can't really pick many people from that.
I could have picked Miguel Cabrera in his 4 for 4, 2 home run night, but that was one night. We're saying over a course of a week.
We could have picked. What's the other? There's no football going on, so it's really for
could have picked Jake Arrieta. That probably would have been a decent pick, but I wanted to focus on some sport.
I'm going to go with another sport. I'm going to go with
that's not Jake
in
Arrieta.
The playoffs, and I don't feel like the NBA playoffs have had as many star players right now, so I'm going to go with the NHL playoffs and a local boy named John Tavares, the captain of the New York Islanders, who scored the double overtime winner against Florida.
It's amazing.
To advance the Islanders to the second round for the first time since '93, as we talked about in our last episode. If you didn't check that out, check that out. But it's just, to me, that just gives you the player of the week in my book.
Yeah.
Because
it's such a big goal.
It's a double.
Such a big goal.
A double overtime, tired. It was a great goal. Just to step up as a captain, that's when your team needs you. Not what, your team needs you to come up in that ideal situation. Double overtime against the Panthers, a series you weren't projected to really do that well.
Amazing. Really is.
To advance your team in the playoffs for the first time in 23 years, come on, it just all falls into place. Yeah. So congratulations then to Neil Walker and to John Tavares, both local boys that we picked as our player of the week for this week. So tune in next week for our Player of the Week. If you guys have anyone that you think was worthy of the Player of the Week, leave it down in the comments. And for next week, same thing. Tweet at us. Tell us who you think should be the Player of the Week, and we'll give you thought, or we'll just shrug you aside. Whatever.
Either or.
Either or. But you never know unless you try, right? You miss 100% of the shots you do not take. So, on that note, I'm Raphael Leah.
And I'm John Jackson. This has been The Man Cave.